Hello and welcome to the Non-Perfect Parents Club podcast. I'm Emma, a mama of 2 girls, an ex-nursery practitioner and the creator of the Non-Perfect Parents Club. The Non-Perfect Parents Club is all about support, honesty, truths, acknowledging that none of us can be perfect parents because it's impossible, and basically just speaking the unspoken. The only rule here is no judgment allowed. I love hearing people's stories. I love finding out about other parents, their family dynamics, their values and how they tick. So that is what this podcast is going to be. Some great honest conversations about parenting, hopefully delving into some nitty-gritty thoughts and feelings that will make us all laugh, cry and sigh a big sigh of relief. Hello and welcome back to the Non-Perfect Parents Club podcast. Today I am joined by Lauren from Lauren Iles Coaching. Now you might remember Lauren as my guest host on the first episode. Hello Lauren, you came back?
I did.
Thank you for joining me today. Shall we get straight into it?
We can do, yes.
Okay, so question 1. If you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your family dynamic and any heritage you want to talk about.
Okay, so I am a single mum of 1. I have a daughter who's 6 years old, and I guess the biggest change in my dynamic has been separating from my husband about a year ago now.
Yeah.
So that's obviously changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my little setup at the moment.
Number 2. The main rule of the Non-Perfect Parents Club is no judgment allowed. Have you ever felt judged in your parenting, and can you tell us about it?
So yes.
I think most people will say yes.
And it was really interesting because when I reflected on this question, I actually realised that probably I'm the one judging myself most.
Oh, yeah.
And that happens basically every day.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think probably a lot of parents, I think if we sort of were honest and thought about that question, it would probably be the same answer, I reckon.
Yeah, I think anyway, so that was a bit of a light bulb for me when I was thinking about it. But 2 more specific examples. When I took Lily, which was a massive mistake in hindsight, I took her to Asda after school.
Okay.
I think she was in reception, so she must have been 4 going on 5.
Yeah.
And she had a little a period of time where she just liked to run free in any supermarket or shop, and this was no different. So she was, and I literally had no control over her.
Yeah.
And I ended up literally having to pin her down in the middle of Asda. Not in a headlock or anything, but just like
full on wrestling moves.
Literally, like almost sitting on my child. To try and calm her down and keep her in one place. So as you can imagine, I felt quite judged in that moment.
One of them where you can feel the eyes burning.
Everyone, and it was in the middle of an aisle, so it wasn't like anywhere discreet. Anyway, so that was a particular one that I remember. And then I've also found it, I think it's probably like quite a personal one to me, but when I'm really tired, really exhausted, and I say to people, oh, I've had a really hard time with her today, I kind of get that impression that, well, why? Because she's a good kid, you know, and I'm just like, oh, and I kind of feel like I'm being judged a little bit on that, I think, as well. Yeah. And then again, that's, you know, judging yourself, and it's all that vicious cycle, isn't it?
It is, but I think that's one of the things that I guess I notice quite often is parents do get judged for speaking out and saying when we're finding it tough, even minor things, you know, like day-to-day things like that. And, you know, that's where we should be okay. It should be okay for us to just say, you know, I'm having a hard day today, and people shouldn't kind of be thinking, oh, well, why?
She should be able to cope, and she should be able to sort it out herself.
Because it's intense, isn't it? Like,
last night was intense.
And there's certain times of each day that are intense, and like I used to really struggle with that period of time where we got in from school from them between tea time. I mean, that we've kind of moved on from that now, but like bedtime, I know that's quite a
it's phases, isn't
time.
it?
Yeah.
It's phases and moods of yourself and your child or your children. It's kind of, it's dynamics, the whole lot. Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel about parenting? Good, bad? Has it changed you? Any regrets? Quite a
broad question.
Yeah. There's a few different elements there to that question.
So, so how do I feel about parenting? I think parenting is an underrated skill.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
I think it is all-consuming.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't prepared for it.
Okay.
In any shape or form.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I was very naive going into it. I am enjoying it a lot more now.
Yeah.
Now that she's getting older, I think I'm in a better place, which is something that is important as well. I sort of feel that I'm kind of being able to sit back and enjoy it a bit more.
Yeah.
And then again, I kind of have regrets that I didn't enjoy it when she was a lot younger. I mean, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I have always enjoyed it, but I just think I'm now thinking, wow.
Yeah.
People say time flies and you should enjoy it, and it in the moment it doesn't fly at all. It's like a lifetime, but I think looking back, I wish I kind of taken a bit more time to enjoy it properly.
Yeah.
I think.
What do you think could have prepared you more for parenting? Is there anything, or was it just a case of?
I don't know. I think it's possibly honesty about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What I found quite strange is when you announce that you're pregnant,
mm-hmm.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
And everyone's very happy and very excited for you. And then you kind of have your baby shower and it's all like glitz and glam and very exciting. And then you have your pregnancy mine was awful. Yeah. Birth was pretty horrific.
Yeah.
And then you've got a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's kind of like that. What now?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just a bit more of a. I don't know. I think just in general things are glossed over, aren't they? It's a bit more of a glossy view. Yeah. And parenting is real. It's like every moment of every day for the rest of your life, pretty much.
Yeah.
Having that sense of responsibility. And I was thinking as well, like you learn so much through parenting about yourself as well. And one thing for me was I never was very good at actually taking care of myself.
Right.
And putting myself first and what I needed, and then you throw a child into the mix, and then that gets kind of exasperated even more. So I think it's kind of it's the whole picture.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay. I interrupted you there, didn't I? What has it changed you? Any regrets?
There's no regrets because it's who I am and it's my life, and like I say, I'm really enjoying it a lot more. I've never had any regrets.
Yeah.
It's been, like I say, all-consuming, which has been something that I wasn't prepared for. I don't know what I was prepared for, though. That's the thing. But yeah, in a good way, because you've got a child and it's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Where are we up to? Number 4. Is there anything in your life that has shaped how you parent that you're happy to talk about? Any situations or circumstances that have affected this?
So there's lots. But, I guess for me and the work that I do, being a coach and working with adults, is knowing that a lot of their kind of concerns or things that are getting in the way of them living their life as they want to be is about kind of beliefs that they have that have been ingrained kind of from when they've been really small children. So it could be obviously parents, community, family, society, culture, all of that, peer pressure, everything. That all goes into like a bit of a melting pot. So I think it's a good thing that I'm really aware of this, but it's also like sort of, it makes me I guess that's where my judgment comes in of myself a little bit more, because I'm a very good analyzer.
Yeah, I was going to say, does that make you think
so
about
I have to kind of be a little bit careful of it. But it's things like, so recently my daughter said, I hate myself.
Right.
And then she's got a little mole on the top of her lip. Mm-hmm. I hate this. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, you're only 6 years old.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I've got one as well, so I just said, we've got matching ones, and she was happy with that. But it's just things like that. I just think, where has this come from?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of, it's definitely shaping how I am looking at things. But one thing I did read recently, which really was quite was good, was, you can analyse things until the cows come home, can't you? And you get yourself tied up in knots, where actually children learn by example and by doing, not by words. Yeah. So it's kind of really taking that into account as well. But it's a balance. Yeah. And I'm still,
like everything.
I'm still, finding that balance, I think.
Okay. What is your biggest value when it comes to parenting?
So 3 actually came to mind for me, but then one kind of in particular, I guess. So truth.
Okay.
Trust. And communication.
Okay.
And then I kind of thought, well, truth came out first. So it's kind of being honest.
Yeah.
I think, again, like through the work that I do, and obviously, knowing myself, it's kind of, it's hard to be truthful yourself about a lot of things. Yeah. But I think it's very, very important to grow a very authentic relationship with somebody. And I think that is the one thing that I'm really trying to encourage, is for my daughter to be able to talk to me and not kind of sugarcoat things or kind of say something that she knows that I would want to hear. I just want her to be able to say it, and literally I reassure her all the time, it doesn't matter what you say, I just want you to say it. It really, and she finds it really difficult though. She finds it very, very difficult. So if there's something bothering her, it might take, I don't know, 48 hours to get it out of her. But she is she does feel better for doing it, so it's just kind of pointing out how she feels and that kind of thing.
And it's hard at that age, isn't it, because they've got so many emotions. Well, I mean, lots of ages they've got so many emotions going on, but I've found, because obviously Bunny's the same age as your daughter, that she's not necessarily aware what that emotion is. So she'll just feel cross, and then we kind of have to break that down and look at it a bit more.
I mean, she's just gone through a really emotional time, and she's kind of coming out of that. When she has major little phases of things. But it's just that kind of, I guess, sharing honest experiences of things, and then just being very open. That's kind of, I think that's what.
I think that's a really good value to have.
I'm trying. trying to build.
Okay. What has been your biggest challenge so far?
So my biggest challenge has been right from day dot of my pregnancy. Literally. From 5 weeks. As you know, I've talked about it before, but I had hyperemesis, and the fallout of that, I think, like I said at the start of this episode, it's kind of me realising now what a pretty sorry state I was in early on. But you're a new mum, you just kind of crack on, and you don't really see it for what it is. But I've recently been through counselling, and it's I've had PTSD from my pregnancy for 6 years, and I didn't know. So I think that's been one of the biggest challenges. I think my health as well, so I've got chronic fatigue syndrome, and that again has played quite a big part, and especially kind of feeling guilty about it, because if I'm having a bad patch, then I think, well, can I look after my child? And when she was younger, that was really difficult. But things are getting easier, and I think now I'm aware of all these things.
Yeah.
It's kind of changed quite a lot for me.
Okay.
And yeah, it's kind of obviously it has been a challenge, but we've kind of learnt a lot through it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. What do you wish you could change about parenting in general, as in for everyone?
So this took me quite a long time to think about, because it's like, where do I start?
Yeah.
But I think the main thing for me is that the world slows down.
Okay. I like that.
Just in general.
Yeah.
Like life
Yeah.
slowing down, I think would benefit every single person on the planet
Yeah.
in some way.
Yeah.
And especially children. You know, we're so frantically busy.
Yeah.
All the time, and trying to fit in absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And I think what's needed is just that relaxed time in company of your family, or relaxed time in company of your friends, or just your one-on-one time with your children or your child, and then with yourself as well. I think that's something that, you know, people do not find time for.
No.
And one thing I've learnt through my parenting journey, and it's kind of become a lot more relevant over the last year, is realising that where I'm at impacts how I parent.
Yeah.
And I've, you know, feeling a lot better with myself over the last year, so I know that my parenting is actually, it's better.
Yeah.
Not to judge it on a, you know, a sort of
No,
sliding
no.
scale or anything, but I feel more comfortable, and she's responding better to
Yeah.
my parenting because I'm in a different, more open, calm, relaxed state. Even though I thought I was like that,
Yeah.
you know, back early on, but yeah, so I just think things need to slow down a little
They
bit.
do. No, I totally agree with that, and that's something, actually, it's really funny you should say that, because that's something that I've been looking at, particularly last week as well, because I realised recently that I just can't do a fast-paced life anymore. I used to be like, you know, always doing, and I just can't do it. I haven't got the energy for it.
Yeah.
And like, where has that come from? You know, why do we all, because I see so many parents doing it, one club to the next, and work and home, and got to do this, and obviously I can look at other people and see, you know, when it's an outside perspective, you get a different perspective, I think, don't you, than when it's yourself, and you just think like, oh, I just wish you could slow down, like, you don't need to do all that. But I think for lots of us, we feel like we have to.
Yeah, you feel obliged. There are lots of like shoulds, aren't there?
Yeah.
You know, in society and culture.
Yeah.
And I think every child is different, every parent
Yeah.
is different, every family dynamic is different, and some families have that really high energy lifestyle, and that's who they are, and that's what genuinely makes them really, really happy.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But it's kind of not for everybody.
Yeah.
And that's where, and it's certainly not for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't maintain it.
No.
It's not who I am as a person, you see.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's kind of having to really be mindful of your own needs, I
Yeah.
guess, and how you function.
I find it can be quite easy to get swept up in it as well. Like, sometimes when there's like different plans going on, and, oh, do you want to do this, do you want to do this, and it's so easy to say, oh yeah, we'll do that, and then before you know it, you're like, you are in that busy schedule.
Yeah, it's a very, very fine line, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially like coming up to this time of year, so coming to
yes.
Christmas,
Yeah.
and scheduling family visits and friends and parties and seeing Santa and all that kind of thing. It can get quite frantic. Yeah, so I there's a fine line for me where I know that, you know, if I've got too much in the diary, I know I'm getting overwhelmed.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to put you on the spot here, because I've just
Excellent.
thought of
Thanks.
one extra question that I want to ask you.
Okay.
So, I know that you read a lot of books,
Okay.
because you're always recommending books to me.
Yeah.
What book would you recommend to other parents that is a must read about parenting?
So it's not a parenting book,
Okay.
but it will impact the way that you parent.
Mm-hmm.
and I can't remember the author, so we'll have to put it in the notes.
Yeah.
But it's why has no one told me this before?
Oh, yes.
Have you got it?
I haven't got it now, but I'm sure you've told me about this one.
Yeah, it's just really practical, common sense approach to taking care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've said before, like the knock-on effect of you taking care of
Yeah.
yourself with your family dynamic, the vibe in your household,
Yeah.
how your kids are responding, it's going to be traumatic raising children because
Mhm.
they're their own little people
Yeah.
and they're going through all of their kind of stuff at the same time.
Yeah.
And what really brought it home to me in that book is if you look after your health, your mindset, your just the way you approach how you take care of yourself, you are going to be in a better position to be able to handle what comes. Like,
Okay.
there's never going to be a perfect journey. It's going
No.
to be so difficult at times, most of the time, probably.
Yeah.
But if you are in a pretty calm, steady enough state yourself, you can handle it a lot better, I would say.
Okay.
A lot more different.
Brilliant. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Okay, so that's all the questions. Is there anything else that you would like to add? Any other points you want to share or?
No, I don't
No.
think so, other than
Okay.
thank you for doing this podcast because it is very, very important. You know, I'm a
Thank
bit of
you.
a champion supporter, so
Thank you.
keep going.
If you've enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to follow, review and share with other parents you know. You can now listen on Apple, Spotify and Amazon, and I aim to release a new episode each week. If you would like to be a guest on the podcast, please get in touch via any of my social media channels, website or just email me. Thank you, Lauren, for joining me today. It's been great to have you, and thank you to everyone for listening.